89.3 The Current. Music from U2, City of Blinding Lights. Coming to you live from the city that always sleeps. Flaming Lips in there before that, Fight Test. That's my own personal joke with myself there. Hi, my name is Danny Sigelman. You are listening to 89.3 KCMP Northfield, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, and 88.7 KMSE Rochester. It's 9 o'clock, and big thanks to Mary Lucia for just rocking it the last couple hours. We've been doing the National Night Out thing tonight, and Mary threw together a great block party mix, if you will. I was coming up the elevator here, and I even caught Mary sort of doing some, like this sort of rockin' acrobatic dance thing that she was doing in the studio during that Aretha Franklin tune. I wish you could have seen it. Want to let you know right now we're getting back into the regular swang of things, but the party's going to rage on. Right now, this is some Curtis Mayfield on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current and Medeski, Martin, and Wood. What's his name? Wood. At End of the World Party, the name of that song off of that CD as well. Daft Punk in there before that, and started off with Curtis Mayfield. And We Got to Have Peace. Amen, brother. 20 minutes after 9, and I want to let you know programming is supported by Minnesota Online, providing online education from the Minnesota State Colleges and universities. You can choose from 90 online programs and thousands of classes. College at your fingertips. More at minnesotaonline.org. And programming is also supported by Bjorling and Grant, a store fusing clean-lined furniture and accessories with direct imported artifacts from around the world. Now offering product photos and more on their website at BJORLING, that's Bjorling, Grant.com. So there you have it. Coming up, we got some music. We're keeping the party going here. National Night Out hasn't ended yet. My neighborhood has kind of been struck recently with some really unfortunate news. I kind of live over by Franklin and Lindale, and I got to say, the neighborhood really came out tonight for National Night Out. There's tons of block parties on almost every block, and everybody was out having just a nice time, saying hello, and it was just very neighborly, and it's cool that is going on tonight. So hats off to my neighborhood. Good show, as they say. Coming up, we got some suburbs, as I mentioned, and right now, Mike Doty, I Hear the Bells on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current, and local music from the Ashtray Hearts. That was exits from their sessions here at 89.3 Studios. Ashtray Hearts just got back from tour. I ran into the accordion player yesterday at the Movies in the Park. Said they had a fantastic time out on the road and bringing the music to the people, man. Before that, we heard the Suburbs, more local music, Waiting, and started off with Mike Doty, I Hear the Bells, here on the Current 9:30. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And I want to let you know that programming is supported by Mississippi Market Co-ops, 2 natural food stores in St. Paul, at Selby and Lindale and at Randolph and Fairview, supplying the community for 25 years with fresh dairy, meat, fruits, and vegetables produced on local family farms. 89.3 The Current will be at the Loft at Barfly in downtown Minneapolis Saturday night for a performance by DJ Cascade. For more information, check out The Current at minnesotapublicradio.org. Thanks to VimLab Productions for their support. Right now, my favorite Canadian import of the moment, her name is Feist. We're going to hear Inside and Out here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current and Unrest. Great 90s band, mid to late 90s. Actually, they probably started earlier than that, but they kind of got big in the 90s and have since broken up, but actually recently reunited for a reunion to celebrate the record label that they started way back when. Was my point. Makeout Club, the name of that song. Before that, Feist, she's happening. It's called Inside and Out, the name of that song in the CD, Let It Die. Got some Mia Doi Todd coming up and Everything But the Girl in just a minute. Currently 86 degrees in the Twin Cities tonight. Very muggy and possible thunderstorms later on. And a low of 73, so not too bad. It's actually really beautiful out tonight, so enjoy. 15 minutes to 10. Right now, this is Chet Baker and Time After Time on 89.3 The Current. Music from Mia Doi Todd is her name. Deep at Sea, the name of that song from Manzanita CD. Before that, Everything But the Girl. Before Today, they're about due for a new record. What's their story these days? Started off with classic Chet Baker, Time After Time here on The Current. Man, just saw the Twins lost again tonight. Real bummer. Get well, Torrey Hunter, please. Well, we won't talk much about that, but we got some music coming up from Air and the Juan McLean. And right now, this is, here is the Juan McLean. Love Is in the Air, the name of this song here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current. Music from a band out of Scotland who are called, this is their name, Dogs Die in Hot Cars, the name of the band. You can tell we're starting to run out of band names when they're they're a great band. They're a great band, but it's kind of a strange name for a band. Air before that, and the Juan McLean, Love Is in the Air, from their Less Than Human release. And you're listening to 89.3 KCMP Northfield, Minneapolis and St. Paul, and 88.7 KMSE in Rochester. It's 10 o'clock in the Twin Cities. Good evening. My name is Danny Sigelman, filling in for Mark Wheat, who is out of town on vacation overseas, going to visit the homeland, as his family calls it. And I'm happy to fill in for him, so thanks for hanging with me. We got some music coming up from Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, also Sugarman 3, kind of a funky little set coming up right here. But I got some tickets to give away, so stay tuned for this. Actually, why don't we give these away right now? Call me up and be the 10th caller at 651-989-4893, and I'll send you to go see DJ Cascade. He's going to be performing Saturday night at the Barfly Bar Club in downtown Minneapolis. And we want to send you there. So listen up right now and grab your phone, 651-989-4893, the number to call up. And if you're the 10th caller, you get to see DJ Cascade, courtesy of The Current. And with that, we're going to go into a different type of DJing, DJ Z-Trip, and take 2 copies here on 89.3 The Current.
All you have to...
Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings on 89.3 The Current. Stranded in Your Love. Story of my life, man. Sugarman 3 and Company. Before that, we heard Bosco's Blues and started off with DJ Z-Trip from Shifting Gears. Take 2 copies, the name of that cut. 20 minutes after 10. Hi, I'm Danny, and programming is supported by Triple Espresso, a highly caffeinated comedy. A homegrown show created to make you laugh until you cry. Appearing now at the Music Box Theater. Special information for current listeners at tripleespresso.com/spring. Triple Espresso. Right now we got music from a band called Thunderbirds Are Now, and they have an exclamation point after their name, so I guess I should read that part of it. Thunderbirds Are Now, the name of this band. Better safe than Safari on 89.3 The Current. Pretty Girls Make Graves. This is our emergency here on The Current. Before that, music from Peter Hosapple and Chris Stamey, I Want to Break Your Heart, and started off with Thunderbirds Are Now. Better safe than Safari. Good evening, it's 10:30. My name is Danny Sigelman, and programming is supported by Bjorling and Grant, a store fusing clean-lined furniture and accessories with direct imported artifacts from around the world, now offering product photos and more on their new website at bjorlinggrant.com. That's BJORLING grant.com. And by Minnesota Online, providing online education from the Minnesota State colleges and universities. You can choose from 90 online programs and thousands of classes. College at your fingertips. For more information, go to minnesotaonline.org. Amon Tobin has a new record out. It's called Splinter Cell Chaos Theory Soundtrack. And this is a song with an even wackier title. It's called Kokubo Sosho Stealth from Amon Tobin. Brand new music here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current, and the Notwist, band out of Germany. We heard One with the Freaks from their Neon Golden record. New music from Amon Tobin before that. Right now we're going to hear a track from Perez Prado. You know, I'm a big garage sale freak, and I just recently got a great Perez Prado record at a garage sale. You can really score at some of those, so be on the lookout for Perez Prado records at garage sales. They're out there. We're going to hear Campanitas de Cristal here on 89.3 The Current. The title track from their latest CD, Atta Girl, Betty Servert. The lovely angelic voice of Carol Van Dyck on that track. She is such a great singer, performer. Man, what a great band. Love Spit Love in there before that, and we started off with Perez Prado and Campanitas de Cristal here on 89.3 The Current, where programming is supported by Kensington Park, urban-style lofts and townhomes, 15 minutes from downtown and available now. Sales office is located at 76th and Lyndale Avenue South and online at kensingtonpark.info. And programming is also supported by It's Just a Lunch, the first date specialist focused on helping single, busy professionals take a proactive approach to their personal life. Discreet and confidential, It's Just Lunch, dating for busy professionals. Online at itsjustlunch.com. Coming up, music from Hangar 18, and right now, Stephen Malkmus, and his latest CD, his second solo record since leaving Pavement. It's called Face the Truth. It's Stephen Malkmus on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current, and music from Nigeria, mid to late 70s Nigeria. Segun Buckner is his name, and he had a hit in Nigeria called La La La, the name of that song we just heard. I guess if you know not much more than Fela Kuti in terms of Afrobeat funk from the 70s, Segun Buckner would probably be like the Jerry and the Pacemakers to Fela's Beatles. So, you know, same era, same time, but not nearly as successful. So there you have it. Bobby Hutcherson in there. Before that, from the Blue Note Revisited CD, we heard the Kenny Dope Gonzalez remix of Mr. Hutcherson, and started off with new solo material from Stephen Malkmus and the song Mama from his latest record. Very cool. 5 minutes after 11 p.m., and you are listening to 89.3 KCMP Northfield, Minneapolis and St. Paul, and 88.7 KMSE Rochester. We are The Current. My name is Danny, and I'm going to be here for just another hour, filling in for Mark Wheat tonight. Jill Riley being at midnight. Hope you stick with us all night and every day here at The Current. Right now is a band out of Oakland, California, a place I don't have much love for tonight after the Oakland beat the Twins. but we'll get over it. At least enough to listen to these guys. Hangar 18 is their name. We're going to hear Easier Said Than Done here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current and Low from The Great Destroyer, When I Go Deaf. Low, a trio out of Duluth. I spent a little bit of time this past weekend up in the North Woods, past Duluth, on a lake, and I saw a different kind of trio of loons. It was my first loon experience. And they sounded just great. Sounded like Low, actually. Possum Dixon in there before that, and the Red Walls did Thank You, and started it off with Hangar 18, Easier Said Than Done, here on 89.3 The Current, where programming is supported by the Minnesota Orchestra. You can celebrate the opening of a new season with music director Osmo Vanska and special guest Andre Watts, September 15th, 16th, and 17th. Information is at minnesotaorchestra.org. And right now we got some local music coming up from the Beatifics and a gentleman by the name of Sufjan Stevens. He has a new record out, Illinois. This is the man of Metropolis Street here on 89.3 The Current. The man of Metropolis steals our hearts, actually, the name of this song on The Current. 89.3 The Current and The Shins. That was recorded live in our 89.3 studios last time they were through town. Looking at their website, they're taking a break right now. They've been on tour forever and are taking the rest of the summer off, writing new songs for a new record, and we're all looking forward to that. They're actually doing some shows later this fall with the White Stripes, so hopefully they'll have some new material for those shows. Coming up, and before that we heard the Beatifics and Sufjan Stevens, and coming up some requested Graham Coxon and Thrills, and right now this is a guy called Gerald, Meaning, the name of this track, here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current, and music out of Chicago, actually. It's a group called The Opus. They had a CD a few years ago called First Contact 001, and that track features, well, in case you couldn't tell, Slug from Atmosphere on that song, and they've done stuff with Aesop Rock and Murs and all sorts of people. Very cool stuff. A song called The River from that CD. Before that we heard a guy called Gerald, new music from him, Meaning, the name of the song. And you're listening to 89.3 The Current, where programming is supported by Helly Hansen, located at Minnetonka's Ridsdale Mall, specializing in keeping people warm, dry, and safe with their Experience Active apparel brand since 1877. More information on this season's products at helly-minnesota.com. 15 minutes to midnight. How you all doing? A lovely Tuesday evening. My name is Danny Sigelman, filling in for Mark Wheat tonight. Jill Riley will be in just a moment, and I'm going to leave you with a nice British set of music, starting off with the Kinks here on 89.3 The Current. 89.3 The Current, and by request, Mr. Graham Coxon from his newest solo record, Happiness in Magazines. He was, of course, former member of the band Blur, probably the heavier side of that band. I think he probably came up with the riff for Woohoo! That song. We heard Freaking Out from him. Very nice. The Thrills in there before that. Not for All the Love in the World, and the Waterloo Sunset. Classic stuff from the Kinks here at The Current. And good night. My name is Danny. I've been hanging out with you, filling in for Mark this week, or tonight. And Jill is in the house, and will be taking care of you for the rest of the evening. Right now, I'm going to leave you with a little tango, if you will. If you're so inspired, feel free to turn the living room into a dance floor. Here we go. Astor Piazzolla on 89.3 The Current. It's 89.3 The Current, and new music from Gotan Project from their Lunatico release. That's Mi Confession. Viva Voce before that did From the Devil himself as Mr. Mark Wheat himself. Though he's not the devil, although I think sometimes Mark Wheat might be a bat because he keeps the studio very dark in here. Danny Sigelman with you. It's a few minutes after midnight here tonight. I'll be with you until... It's 89.3 The Current, and new music from Gotan Project from their Lunatico release. That's Mi Confession. Viva Voce before that did From the Devil himself as Mr. Mark Wheat himself. Though he's not the devil, although I think sometimes Mark Wheat might be a bat because he keeps the studio very dark in here. Danny Sigelman with you. It's a few minutes after midnight here tonight. I'll be with you until the early hours of Saturday morning here. And I'm feeling a lot better. I was really illin last time I was on the air, and I couldn't wait to get back in here. Full health, and just spent the last 4 hours watching Kiss videos. So I think we're going to have to play some Kiss later this hour. But we're also going to play some new music, some new stuff from Poems and some Lemonheads. Probably hear some U2 at some point. Right now it's new music from Graham Coxon. This one is called Standing on My Own Again. Indeed. It's new music on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current and Prototype. The song is Je ne te connais pas. Can you tell I've been practicing my French, taking French lessons. U2 before that did Trip Through Your Wires from the Joshua Tree. Started off with new music from Graham Coxon, he of former Blur fame. His latest solo release, we heard Standing on My Own Again. Tonight, that would be Saturday night tonight, The Current presents a special guest session with the new standards. Expect guest appearances from Dan Wilson, Joanna James, Jeremy Messersmith, Jake Slichter, and many more. It should be a lot of fun. Mark Wheat will be hosting for an evening of new standards arranged elegantly and soulfully. Show starts at 8 p.m. tonight at the Fitzgerald Theater. Tickets are available at the door. The Lemonheads have a new record. It's a new self-titled release we're going to hear a track from. It's called No Backbone. It's on The Current. 89.3 The Current, going back to 85, that's Husker Du, and books about UFOs from their New Day Rising release. Grant Hart on vocals on that one. He was involved in some sort of art happening that happened last weekend. I didn't get to see it. It was at the Creative Electric Studios Gallery in Northeast called Shotgun Shack, and I'm having a hard time understanding just when went on, but sort of a performance art piece that Grant and some other people put on. I guess he had to be there, but there should be a DVD coming out of that performance, hopefully soon, so we can all know what was happening, since some of us hipsters didn't get to check that out. Lemonheads before that, new music from them. We heard No Backbone off of their latest self-titled release. Programming is supported by Mississippi Market Co-op Natural Food Stores, offering a selection of organic foods, fair trade coffees, fresh produce, vitamins, and nutritional supplements. Mississippi Market stores in St. Paul are located at Selby and Dale and at Randolph and Fairview. About 20 minutes after midnight here, Danny Sigelman with you. Got some music coming up from Kimya Dawson, some Weezer, and some Prince as well. I just spent the last 4 hours watching just a little bit. I mean, it's so much of the new Kissology box set. It's like four or five DVDs of vintage Kiss footage, and if you're a 70s a kid of the 70s, you probably fell in love with Kiss. They were probably one of the first bands I ever really got into, and it's just so great seeing a lot of that old footage. So I couldn't help but put some Kiss on for you tonight. It's from 77's Love Gun. There was a great Love Gun concert from that tour in the box set, and evidently there's a bunch of different versions floating around of the box, so I'm going to have to track them all down, and you might have to put up with more Kiss than you bargained for on the Current here. But in any case, here we go. It's Kiss, Love Gun on the Current. It's exhausting to listen to, actually. Kimya Dawson, how does she do it? I Like Giants, the name of that song. It's from her Remember That I Love You release. The Mountain Goats in there. Before that did You or Your Memory, and started off with Kiss and Love Gun, and still loving the Paul Stanley show. I saw it at the Myth nightclub a little over a week ago. 1 week I saw Paul Stanley from Kiss and the New York Dolls. I've been living in the 70s the past week, I guess. Right now it's new music. They're called The Poems. This one is called Sometime Somewhere Someone Should Say Something. I couldn't agree more. It's The Poems on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, and Prince from 3121 from this year. That's Fury, bringing on the funk rock tonight. Prince this week just got inducted into the UK Music Hall of Fame, and looking sharp, dressed in black. The man in black, Prince himself. Before that, we heard Eddie Hazel going back a ways. He of Parliament Funkadelic fame, his version of California Dreaming. We heard Weezer in there and started off with The Poems, new music from them. Sometime, somewhere, someone should say something. Absolutely. A few minutes before 1 a.m. here, Danny Sigelman with you. I got some music coming up from Ozo Motley, also Joseph Arthur this hour, some Pigeon John, local sounds from Unknown Prophets. Right now it's Bonobo. This is called Nightlife on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, and you know what? One of my favorite records of the year, Everything All the Time from Band of Horses, that song was Wicked Gill. We've been talking about our favorite releases of the year. We'll soon be asking you to let us know what your favorite records of 2006 were, and we're going to be doing the top 89. More about that later. Ozo Motley before that. We heard Como Vase and started off with Bonobo. The track was Nightlife here on the Current. It's 5 minutes after 1 this morning. Danny Sigelman with you. I'll be here until sunrise. Coming up, some music this hour from Unknown Prophets, also Beth Orton, some Beastie Boys, some Ramones. Right now it's a track from Joseph Arthur. This one is off of his newest release, Nuclear Daydream. This is called Too Much to Hide. Joseph Arthur on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, and Radio 4, that's called Everything's in Question. I'm questioning the news lately. What is going on with the planet? People are fighting over Nintendo games and getting shot. Craziness. Something on there. The only time I ever really watch TV is when I'm here, and I've been seeing strange news things all night, and I'm kind of scared. But I feel safe in this little glass cube. It's you people got to deal with it all, I suppose. Before that, Ramones did Tomorrow She Goes Away, and Joseph Arthur started us off. Too Much to Hide. I mean, there's some football game, some Pee-wee football game broke out in a fight too. Get it together, people. Starting Monday, that's this coming Monday, 89.3 The Current is giving you the chance to choose our top 89 of 2006. Go online and vote for your favorite albums of the year. You'll be entered to win an 80-gig video iPod and 89 downloads, courtesy of Popular Front. You can also read our DJ's top 10 lists and talk about your list with other listeners. The Current's top 89 of 2006 starts Monday when you click on The Current at minnesotapublicradio.org. Right now it's Pigeon John. This is going to be a nice dance set here, so you might want to move some furniture out of the way. Turn your living room into a dance floor. Pigeon John, it's Higher on The Current. Representing Northeast, ladies and gentlemen, Unknown Prophets. That's The Road Less Traveled, owing a lot to Sly and the Family Stone for that sample. I've been on a big Sly and the Family Stone kick lately. So you get 2 for 1 with that track. Pigeon John, before that we heard Higher from his latest record. Programming is supported by Minnesota State colleges and universities, educating 92% of the state's law enforcement officers, 78% of new nursing graduates, and 53% of new teaching graduates. Online at mnscu.edu. Coming up, some requested Hot Chip, some Beastie Boys. Right now, it's out of New York, Antibalas Afrobeat Orchestra. It's on The Current. 89.3 The Current, going out to Jan G. That's Hot Chip. We heard a remix of Over and Over. Beth Orton before that did Daybreaker. And Antibalas Afrobeat Orchestra started off the set. Shay Shay Collet here on The Current. And it's, what's the temperature out there? 36 degrees in the Twin Cities, 35 degrees in Rochester. It's going to dip down to 25 for the overnight tonight. Saturday's looking to be partly cloudy in the morning, mostly sunny, a high of 40 degrees for Saturday. Saturday night, mostly clear, a low around 20. Right now it's, this is pretty cool. New music from Miho Hattori. She is former one half of Chibo Mato. Put out some Brazilian music a couple years ago. She's out with another solo release called ECD Isis. This is called A Song for Kids. New music from Miho Hattori on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current and Future Heads, title track to their news and tributes release. Before that, 1974, we heard Earth, Wind, and Fire and Sun Goddess, Beastie Boys in there, and started off with new music from Miho Hattori, A Song for Kids. That was an interesting one. Tonight, The Current presents a guest session with the new standards. Expect guest appearances from Dan Wilson, Joanna James, Jeremy Messersmith, Jake Slichter, and many more. Mark Wheat will be your host for an evening of new standards arranged elegantly and soulfully. The show starts at 8 p.m. tonight at the Fitzgerald Theater. Tickets are available at the door. From Game Theory, this is The Roots. It's on The Current. Lots of space, lots of fuzz. Loving the space and fuzz. That's Silver Sun Pickups. We heard Future Foe Scenarios from their Carnivas release, their latest. They're going to be playing live at the Electric Fetus, Sunday at 1 p.m. Shoo Shoo before that did Bog People and started off with The Roots and title track from their Game Theory release. About 10 minutes after 2 this morning, Danny Sigelman with you. Got some music on the way this hour from Portishead and local sounds from the Pines, some Built to Spill. Right now is a track from Interpol. This is from Turn on the Bright Lights. It's PDA on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current and Built to Spill. That's Liar from their You in Reverse record. We heard Interpol before that. The track was PDA. Right now is a track from The Bird and the Bee. This is called La La La. It's on The Current. Local music from the Pines. The song is called Stevenson Motel Breakdown. The Pines have a gig coming up December 1st, playing at the 400 Bar with Roma di Luna. Before that, we heard The Bird and the Bee, and that track featured Inara George on vocals. La La La, the name of that song. Programming is supported by Locus Architecture's Red Square. Sustainable commercial condos for sale or lease on Central Avenue in Northeast Minneapolis, in the Northeast Minneapolis Arts District. Online at redsquarempls.com. Red Square, where red is green. Get your go-go boots out for this one. It's Nancy Sinatra on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current. DJ 101, don't take a bite of an apple before you gotta talk. Clue to Kalo, that's called 9,000 nautical miles here on The Current. Portishead in there before that. We heard Cowboys. Started off with Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking on Yeah. Here's new DJ Shadow. His new record, Outsider. I'm not so sure about it. It's kind of not so great, but there are some cool tracks on it. I'm going to play one of them right now. This is called Triplicate. It's new DJ Shadow on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current and Regina Spektor. Hopefully not foretelling the rest of the evening here on the radio. I've never fallen asleep while on the air. I've come very close. Thelonious Monk in there with John Coltrane. We heard Nutty from the at the Carnegie Hall release. The Replacements in there did Within Your Reach. New music from DJ Shadow started us off. Another track from The Outsider, his latest record. Tonight, The Current presents a guest session with the New Standards. Expect guest appearances from Dan Wilson, Joanna James, Jeremy Messersmith, Jake Slichter, and many, many more. Mark Wheat will be your host for an evening of New Standards, arranged elegantly and soulfully. The show starts at 8 p.m. tonight at the Fitzgerald Theater. Tickets are available at the door. A couple minutes before 3 a.m. here, Danny Sigelman with you, very wide awake. Some music coming up. I got some requested Dresden Dolls. I've been putting that off for too long here. Also some Sparkle Horse, new stuff from them. Some Sonic Youth this hour. Amy Mann. Right now it's new music from Yola Tango. This one is called Black Flowers on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current and the Dresden Dolls. That's my alcoholic friends. By request, going out to Bill in Oakdale. He's working security tonight. Hope nothing got stolen while you're grooving to that song. Before that, we heard the Go-Betweens. They did He Lives My Life, and Yola Tango started us off. I love that song, Black Flowers, from their latest record. 10 minutes after 3 here, Danny Sigelman with you for a couple more hours on this early Saturday morning. Some Low coming up in just a few. Also some Sonic Youth and Secret Machines this hour. Right now is the new ones from Sparkle Horse. Latest record's called Dreamt for Light Years in the Belly of a Mountain. This is It's Not So Hard, Sparkle Horse on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, Johnny Cash from American 5. God's Gonna Cut You Down. My neighbor downstairs was just cranking that record today, so I had to play it for you tonight. Low, before that, the Tranquility Bass remix of Over the Ocean. And we heard Sparkle Horse, new music from them, It's Not So Hard. Starting Monday, 89.3 The Current is giving you the chance to choose our top 89 of 2006. Go online and vote for your favorite albums of the year. You'll be entered to win an 80-gig video iPod and 89 downloads, courtesy of Popular Front. You can also read our DJ's top 10 lists and talk about your list with other listeners. The Current Top 89 of 2006 starts Monday when you click on The Current at minnesotapublicradio.org. Right now it's music from the Deers. This one's called Ballad of Human Kindness on The Current.
Well, I thought...
An Ode to a Racehorse. That's Sonic Youth, Bull in the Heather from their experimental Jet Set Trash and No Star record. We heard the Deers before that. Ballad of Human Kindness. Right now is a track from our 89.3 Studio Sessions archives. Got a lot of them. We've been having tons of bands coming through here since we came on the air. One of the better ones, more recently, Secret Machines came by, and I'm going to play one of those tracks. This is called Faded Lines from Secret Machines, live in the 89.3 Studios. It's here on The Current. That's Supergrass on 89.3 The Current. The song is Sad Girl from their Road to Rowan release. Amy Mann before that did I Can't Do Something, Can't Talk. I Can't Get My Head Around It, and started off with Secret Machines. We heard Faded Lines. 15 minutes to 4, Danny Sigelman with you. I got some music coming up from Oasis, also Sound Team, and some solo sound coming up. Right now is a track from Dr. Dog. They're going to be in town with the Black Keys playing at First Avenue November 29th. Should be an incredible show. Here's Dr. Dog with Ain't It Strange on The Current.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 89.3 The Current out of Austin, Texas. The Sound Team. The song is called Handful of Billions. Before that, Sinead O'Connor Going back a little ways, her big band record. We heard Why Don't You Do Right, her version of that. Soul Asylum in there. And started off with Dr. Dog, Ain't It Strange. Again, they'll be in town. With the Black Keys, November 29th. It's 4 a.m. here in the Twin Cities. Danny Sigelman with you. I want to let you know about Saturday night's nighttime lineup. Starting at 11 p.m., it's our hip-hop show, Redefinition Radio, with Kevin Beecham. Then at midnight, you can listen to the Rhythm Lab. That's 2 hours of music to groove your Saturday night here on The Current with DJs Don Kuko and Tariq. Right now, it's music from the Akoti Soul Sound. Speaking of grooving, this is called Learn to Let Go on The Current. Red Hot Chili Peppers from Stadium Arcadium, that's Hard to Concentrate. Before that, Oasis did Up in the Sky. We started off with Akoti Soul Sounds and Learn to Let Go here on The Current. Right now is music from Tom McRae. This is called A Day Like Today. 89.3 The Current and The Fall. That's You Wanner. It's from the Fall Heads Roll release. Before that, we heard Tom McRae. He did A Day Like Today. Tonight, The Current presents a special guest session with the new standards. Expect guest appearances from Dan Wilson, Joanna James, Jeremy Messersmith, Jake Slichter, and many more. Mark Wheat will be your host for an evening of new standards arranged elegantly and soulfully. The show starts at 8 tonight at the Fitzgerald Theater. Tickets are available at the door. Currently 35 degrees in the Twin Cities. There's a freezing rain advisory in effect in Northeast until 10 a.m. this morning. Today, decreasing clouds from the west to east. Areas of light freezing drizzle in the morning. A high of 30 to the lower 40s. Tonight, colder, mostly clear to partly cloudy. A low of 15 to 20 for Saturday night. Sunday is looking a little bit warmer. Can expect a high of 40 for Sunday. Right now it's music from Now It's Overhead. This is Let the Sirens Rest on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current and Trampled by Turtles. That song is I'm a Target Too. They're going to be playing next weekend, the 25th, at the Little Big Festival. That's in Des Moines, Iowa. And they have actually the Dave Simonet of Trampled by Turtles has a solo gig coming up December 1st at the Cedar Cultural Center. So there you go, Trampled by Turtles news for you. Now it's Overhead. Before that we heard Let the Sirens Rest. Let me rest. It's about 4:30 here this morning. Danny Sigelman with you for a little bit longer. We have Sounds Eclectic coming up at 5 a.m. with Nick Harcourt. A few more tunes to get in before that. We have some Pearl Jam coming up. Also some Pete Yorn. Right now it's Chet Baker, one of my favorites. This is My Buddy on The Current. Yeah, it's Pearl Jam, Worldwide Suicide, from their latest self-titled record. The Flaming Lips, a whole alterna set in there for you. The Flaming Lips did She Don't Use Jelly, and started off with Chet Baker and My Buddy. Right now is music from Emily Haynes and the Soft Skeleton. This is called Dr. Blind on The Current. Love the harmonica. It's local music from Dee Delari. That song is called Alma Gordo Shake from their self-titled release. Local music here on The Current. We heard Pete Yorn before that did On Your Side. Emily Haynes and the Soft Skeleton started us off. We heard Dr. Blind from her. About 5 minutes to 5 here, Danny Sigelman signing off on this Saturday morning. I'll be back with you around the same time tomorrow. Coming up, we have Sounds Eclectic with Nick Harcourt. As special guests this week are Jurassic 5 and Ray LaMontagne. I'm going to leave you with a track from The Boy Least Likely To. This is called... Yeah. Hello. Is this on? What's happening here? It's 89.3 The Current. That's what's happening. Just heard a track from K. Salam, former Twin Cities DJ, now out blowing up in New York City. We heard Victory from his The World Is Ours record that was featuring Mos Def and Sizzla on that. Coming out of the Rhythm Lab once again this week, Danny Sigelman with you. Big ups to Tariq and Don Kuko, bringing you the Rhythm Lab every week here. Saturday nights are grooving from midnight to 2. I'll be taking over the wheels of steel until dawn here. Some music this hour coming up, some Mason Jennings, also TV on the radio, and The Cure, some Black Keys in this set. Also be telling you more about our top 89 of 2006. Starting Monday, we'll have that on our website. Gonna kick things off with a track from the new Solomon Burke. Latest release, a country record called Nashville. This one's featuring Emmylou Harris on backup vocals. This is We're Gonna Hold Out. Solomon Burke on The Current. 89.3 The Current, and Austin, Texas's Black Angels. Love that band. They let me play the tambourine when they came in the studios here. That was a track from their Passover record, Young Men Dead, from the Black Angels. The Black Keys before that did Strange Desire. That was a real black set. Black Keys, Black Angels. If only I would have had my Black Sabbath records, or Black Dahlia, Black... Who else is black? None More Black. Solomon Burke started us off. I think he's black. We're going to hold on from his Nashville record. Starting Monday, 89.3 The Current is giving you the chance to choose our top 89 of 2006. Go online and vote for your favorite albums of the year. You'll be entered to win an 80-gig video iPod and 89 downloads, courtesy of Popular Front. You can also read our DJ's top 10 list. Solomon Burke before that did We're Gonna Hold On, featuring Emmylou Harris on that track. That's off of his Nashville release. Starting Monday, 89.3 The Current is giving you the chance to choose our top 89 of 2006. Go online and vote for your favorite albums of the year. You'll be entered to win an 80-gig video iPod and 89 downloads, courtesy of Popular Front. You can also read our DJ's top 10 lists and talk about your list with our listeners. The Current's top 89 of 2006 starts Monday when you click on The Current at minnesotapublicradio.org. I've been having a hard time coming up with just 10 records that I really like this year. I think there's probably 100 records that I've really dug this year, but my top 10 will be on there, and everybody else's as well. So we look forward to seeing yours. Right now it's music from Kinky. They're out of Mexico City. This is called Again and So On. It's dance music from Kinky on The Current. Hey, Devo, that's Girl You Want on 89.3 The Current. As I fix the microphone stand. The microphone stand is devolving before our ears here. Kinky before that did Again and So On. That's from their Reina release. Coming up, some TV on the radio, music from Lucinda Williams. Right now is Mason Jennings. This is one recorded in our studios when Mason came through. It's called Jesus, Are You Real? Mason Jennings on The Current.
Jesus.
To the disco call. Saint Etienne, that's Stars Above Us. Lucinda Williams before that did Steal Your Love. Started off with local music from Mason Jennings and Jesus, Are You Real? Here on 89.3 The Current, where programming is supported by the Minnesota State Fair. Thanking all the people who attended the 2006 fair. More information on the upcoming 2007 Minnesota State Fair will be online at mnstatefair.org. Thought I'd take a little look at the weather. It's currently 23 degrees in the Twin Cities, 28 in Rochester. It's going to be pretty cold tonight, dipping down to 15 for a low. Sunday, sunny, high around 45, and can expect a low Sunday of 20 degrees. So Bundle Up. Right now it's TV on the radio. This is Hours on the Current.
Again.
Yeah, right. 89.3 The Current, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. That's Riddles from her latest Sinner. One of my favorite records of the year. If you're trying to remember your favorite records for our top 89, that is certainly one of them. She had a great show in town, too. It sort of put an exclamation point on it for me. The Modern Lovers, before that, we heard Roadrunner from 1976. Going back to 79, before that was The Cure with 10:15 Saturday Night from their first record, Three Imaginary Boys. And started off with new music from TV on the radio. Hours. 2 minutes to 3 a.m. here. Danny Sigelman with you for a couple hours. And some music coming. What do I have? I got some hip-hop coming up from Quasimodo. Also some Jolie Holland. Some new stuff from Paul Westerberg. All sorts of good stuff. Right now it's Dan the Automator. He's producer extraordinaire working with Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5 on this track. It's called Anchorman. New music from Dan the Automator on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, band out of Denton, Texas, of all places. That's Mid-Lake. The song is Young Bride. Before that we heard Uncle and a song from their Never Neverland record, Invasion, the name of that one. Started off with new music from Dan the Automator. The new record is 2K7, and the track was Anchorman, that one featuring Charlie Tuna of Jurassic 5. Right now is more hip-hop from Quasimodo. I love these guys, and everything they do has this like voice. He messes with his voice. It sounds a lot like Prince on Sign of the Times, a really high, sort of cartoony. You'll hear what I'm talking about. It's Tomorrow Never Knows from Quasimodo on the Current. It's 89.3 The Current, and Mr. Liff, track from his Mo Mega record that's called For You. Not to be confused with Prince's For You, of course. Quasimodo before that did Tomorrow Never Knows. Programming is supported by the Minnesota Orchestra. Music director Osmovanska conducts Future Classics, an evening of fresh orchestral music from some of America's top new talent. Hosted by the Current's own Steve Seal, Friday, December 1st, minnesotaorchestra.org. Right now is new music from Paul Westerberg from the Open Season soundtrack. And why is this not working? Hey, what is happening here? Paul Westerberg on the Current. Now. That's local music from Ace Skeletons, the name of the band. The track was Cities, Not the People in Them. Looks like they have a gig coming up December 1st at the 7th Street Entry. Nice triple local bill with Whisper in the Noise and Robert Scoro playing with A Skeleton. Lots of great shows happening in the Entry these days. I went there for the big lunch show today with, or today being Saturday in my head. Saturday afternoon lunch show with Stunning was a lot of fun. I missed Shellac, evidently did a little surprise set as well. So I'm sure some of y'all were down there. Right before that, we heard local music from Paul Westerberg and Meet Me in the Meadow. Right now, it's another track from, I need to tell you this first, that in-studio guitars for live performance on the Current, provided by The Podium, offering new, used, and vintage guitars, plus music lessons for beginners to advanced musicians, supporting local artists since 1959 in Dinkytown and online at thepodium.com. Speaking of acoustic guitars and in-studio performances, this is another one from our 89.3 studio archives. And Jolie Holland. This track is called Corridor Poor Buddy. It's on the Current. Cha-cha. That's Sandre Lerche and the Faces Down Quartet. The song is Everyone's Rooting for You. PJ Harvey in there before that did Angeline. And we started off with Jolie Holland. Corridor Poor Buddy from the 89.3 studio archives. About 15 minutes to 4. Danny Sigelman with you for an hour or so here. Some music coming up from the Boomtown Rats. Also some more of that new Lemonheads record. Some Billy Bragg. Right now is local music from Dosh, or Martin Dosh, as his birth certificate says. His new record is called The Lost Take. Here's a song, Minneapolis Rock and Roll, it's called. New music from Dosh on the Current. 89.3 The Current, that's Field Music, their self-titled record, Got to Write a Letter. You know, my New Year's I'm thinking of New Year's resolutions for next year. This year it was to write a letter at least once a week. I did pretty good. I didn't quite write that many, but I certainly wrote more than I had in a long time. You know, it's like the digital age. Who hand writes letters anymore? Hopefully some of you do. The Boomtown Rats before that did I Don't Like Mondays from 1979, number one hit for them in the UK. Before that, Billy Bragg, another UK gent, did Waiting for the Great Leap Forward. Start off with local music from Dosh, Martin Dosh. Minneapolis Rock and Roll, the name of that one. Right now it's new music from Lemonheads, and the song is Poughkeepsie. It's on The Current. 89.3 The Current, that's a silly song. Shiny Toy Guns, the song is Le Disco from their We Are Pilots record. Before that we heard the Lemonheads do Poughkeepsie, and started off, that was it, I suppose. No, there was some Black Rebel Motorcycle in there, in the middle there. I knew there was something missing. Sympathetic Noose was what we heard from BRMC. Can you tell I'm tired? It's 10 minutes after 4 here. Danny Sigelman with you for another hour here. I have American Roots coming up at 5 a.m. with Nick Spitzer. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Lots to get to before then. We have some new music this hour from the Cardigans. Also local music from Flavor Crystals. Some Ryan Adams coming up. Right now it's M. Ward. This is called Requiem. It's on 89.3 The Current.
Fields and the factory lines.
It's 89.3 The Current, and Pretty Girls Make Graves. That song's called Parade. Like the drums on that one. Ryan Adams and the Cardinals in there before that did Rosebud. Started off with M. Ward, Requiem, from his post-war release. Starting Monday, this coming Monday, 89.3 The Current is giving you the chance to choose our top 89 of 2006. Go online and vote for your favorite albums of the year. You'll be entered to win an 80-gig video iPod and 89 downloads, courtesy of Popular Front. You can also read our DJ's top 10 lists and talk about your list with other listeners. The Current's top 89 of 2006 starts Monday when you click on The Current at minnesotapublicradio.org. Coming up, some local music from Flavor Crystals, some Jose Gonzalez. This one is Amy Milan. The track's called Skinny Boy on The Current. Yeah, perfect music for this time of the morning. Local music from Flavor Crystals. That song is called Poolja from their On Plastic release. Flavor Crystals played tonight, or last night at the Kitty Cat Club with Autumn Leaves. That would have been fun. Before that we heard Amy Milan. She did Skinny Boy, a track from her Honey from the Tunes release. Programming is supported by Larson King, a St. Paul-based national law firm counseling businesses facing diverse legal needs. Included in Corporate Counsel magazine's listings of law firms representing Fortune 250 companies in litigation and employment matters. LarsonKing.com. Right now is a track from Jose Gonzalez. This is called Dead Weight on The Current. It's 89.3 The Current and the Cardigans. That one's called Drip, Drop, Teardrop from their Super Extra Gravity release. Aaron McEwen before that did The Golden Dream and started off with Jose Gonzalez and the song Dead Weight. About 20 minutes to 5 o'clock here. Danny Sigelman just winding down a lovely Sunday morning here. There's a dude driving around. I always wonder if there's a parking ramp across the street here. I can see him through the window. And the security guy's always driving around. I always thought it'd be kind of cool if he was like listening to me and I'd be waving at him. Hey. Anyway, that's what I do to entertain myself here. We got American Roots coming up at 5 a.m. with Nick Spitzer. A couple more tracks to get to before then. In fact, this one's really good if you're trying to stay awake, you're working third shift like me, and having trouble maybe dozing off. Turn the radio up really, really, really loud right now. This is a humdinger, as I say. I like the drums that kick this one off. It's Quasi, the Rhino, on The Current. definitely. Music from the Rakes. The song is called 22 Grand Job. The Louis Armstrong before that did I've Got the World on a String. Local music from Estate before that, Let Her Know. Started off with Quasi and the Rhino. About 7 minutes to 5 here. Danny Sigelman signing off on this Sunday morning. We have American Roots coming up in a few minutes here. Currently 21 degrees in the Twin Cities, 23 in Rochester. It's going to be mostly sunny today. Going to get up to 45 degrees for a high. Tonight, moving on down to 15 for a low. Clear skies. Monday, sunny, a high of 50 for Sunday. So, might warm up through the week here as it tends to be doing lately. It's almost late November, and no snow. Knock on wood. So I'm digging it. And I'm going to take off here. Have a great Sunday. Leave you with music from Robert Pollard. This is called Supernatural Car Lover on The Current.